Hello everybody, welcome for this new episode of the Bestiary of Terebia, and today I will talk to you about Zomboka. So what is a Zomboka? A Zomboka is something like a ghost which is composed by a buffalo skull and the skin of a buffalo, and it's empty. There is nothing in it. It's considered as a monster. Its triangle number is 1, so inoffensive, or 49, so very very dangerous. And the advice is don't panic when you saw them. So here you have the positions on the triangle of Rufric. Before to understand that creature, you have to understand the territories. So we can find Zomboka everywhere in the red circle, but especially at the end of the blue arrow. So in fact the blue arrow represents wind, so a wind which come during the winter and which arrives in the Lemauda plains. So in the local language, Lemauda can be translated by emerald plains or jade plains. So because of that, the humid wind is stopped by the mountains and that bring rains. And because of that, a lot of migrations of animals arrives in the Lemauda plains, and it's a very good thing for the local populations. In that migration, the buffaloes are very important because they are the first animals to come, and in reality, they come 1 or 2 days before the rain. So they are considered as a very positive animal because they are viewed as the animal which will bring the rain to the territories. Because of that, the buffaloes are considered as sacred animals, and there are 6 laws around the buffaloes and around their hunt, especially. Before to hunt, you will have to wait 3 days for the respect. In the region, it's because it's an hospitality with the buffalo, so you let them the time to arrive. You don't have to be the first to hunt, so you have to wait that lions or other animals hunt buffaloes before to hunt them. You don't have to kill the young one because in the symbolic it's the young one which will bring the rain the next year. You have to hunt only the day. It's because buffaloes are living the day and not the night. So by respect, you hunt them when they are in their highest potential. You have to use all the carcass because a buffalo is considered as a sacred animal, so you don't waste a part of them. And finally, do not capture a buffalo because a buffalo has to die and live free. Now, if you don't respect one of the 6 laws, how to be free from the punishment. So the first law is to accumulate the days. For example, if you kill buffalo only 2 days after the arrival, you don't respect 1 day. So for the next year, you will wait 4 days and not 3. And at this point, it will be fine. If you kill a buffalo before other animals, you have to abandon meat to them. And this meat represents the buffalo you kill before the abandon the animals. The law 3, so the third law, if you killed a young buffalo, you have to abandon a child in the plains. So a child have to be free. In fact, the idea is that the child had to be capable to go back to the village, but is supposed to be lost. For the local population, a child is a people under 50 years old. For the first law, so if you hunt, so if you kill a buffalo at night, for the next year, you will be allowed to hunt only during the night as a punishment, because you are considered as a night creature. For the 5 law, if you waste a part of a buffalo, you are not allowed to throw anything away. So even something very useless, you will have to keep it and find an utilization to it. And finally, for the 6th law, if you have captured a buffalo, you have to free it. For all that law, you have 1 year to accomplish the action, and if you don't do it, there is the punishment, and the punishment is the Zomboka. So, as you can see here on the illustration, the empty skin will cover the person who made the mistake, and if it's an entire village or ville or city which make it, for example, if all a village capture and use a buffalo in captivity, all the village will be concerned. So the buffalo, the Zomboka, will cover the body and then use his vital energy to control it. We don't know exactly if there is a logic in the selection of the Zomboka, but at the end, when the body is dead, Zomboka leave it and found another people guilty and cover him. It is why the angle of Wulfric is 1 or 49, because if you are innocent, Zomboka is pretty inoffensive, but if you are guilty, you can't escape from him. However, there are situations when a Zomboka can be unallied. For example, shamans in some villages or some specific village can have a relation with a Zomboka, and here we have 2 classifications. So some shamans will use Zomboka to fight more to do assassinations. This kind of shamans are using black magic, and the others, we could say good shamans, will be covered by the buffalo, but will share the vital energy and will not die about that. And they use the Zomboka if there is a big danger, and they will be able to use the power of Zomboka. So it's an immortality. which is pretty useful, for example, in a battle, but also biggest strength and biggest speed, because the Zomboka can have the speed of a buffalo in a charge. So it's pretty useful. But there are very specific utilization. Now, what is the relation of the scarecrows with the Zomboka? For the two orders, the common Zomboka, so Zomboka which are not linked with a shaman, are not considered, because if you are innocent, there is no danger, and if you are guilty, you are in danger, so it's considered as justice. So they don't do anything against or for them. But for the shamans, the Puritans fight every shaman they can find, and the shepherds, them, fight only the shamans which use black magic on them, and not the others. Well, it's everything you had to know about Zomboka. I hope you enjoyed that video. For the next episode, will be you can choose between the Meilwadkrone, the Orks, or the Inoshoni. Well, have a nice day, and back to the next episode.